Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unravel. Thanks for joining me this morning. Do any of you ever have those days where you wait till you're on the video call and you're like, what is going on with my hair? I feel like I'm having one of those days where it's just extra frizzy. Thanks for bearing with me. Just quick reminder, remember today is the last day for open enrollment. So if you have not done that today, make sure you do it as soon as we are done with Unravel. So you don't forget, today is the last day for open enrollment. So hopefully you've all have done that already. You've kind of checked through everything that needs to be checked. But if you haven't, today is the last day for that. So make sure you do that. Okay, let's get to unraveling. Come down onto our mat. We are going to target our wrists and ankles a little bit more today, given that we don't often target. I am guilty of forgetting to do that for myself, so we're going to work on that a little bit. So I'm going to come down onto hands and knees. Fingers are pointing forward, and we're just going to start to circle towards the right side. Just some small circles. We'll do one more in this direction, and then we'll change sides. And I just want you to notice if you feel any tightness. For those of you who spend long hours on the computer, which is most of us, you might feel some tightness through the forearms, or you might be feeling like, wow, I didn't realize this was tight. Maybe even through your hands. For some of you that may be kind of, if you're experiencing any early signs of carpal tunnel from using the mouse a lot, might be feeling that through your hands as well. Okay, I want you to turn those hands around so those fingers are going to point towards your knees. From here, I want you to just gently rock back. Just as much as you're comfortable. And you can rock back and forth, stretching out the forearms here. And feel free to hold it. If you want to rock back and forth, feel free to do that. But you can also hold that stretch that feels good to you. I know it might look like you're a little contorted here, but that's okay. Alright, now those fingers are going to keep pointing towards your knees. You're just going to turn your hand over. So now our palms are facing up. So we're just going to stretch out the other side of the hand and the wrist here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to rock back and forth, or you can hold here. Now, for some of you, this might be a little bit uncomfortable, and that's perfectly fine. You should feel a little discomfort given that we don't do these stretches on a regular basis, but what you don't want to be feeling is pain. So if you are feeling pain, just kind of back off of the weight on there a little bit. Alright, we're going to turn those hands back over. I want you to turn those hands so that those fingers are pointing towards each other. And from here, we're going to rock side to side. Rocking side to side. Good. And we'll sit back, do a few wrist circles here, and then back. Getting some mobility through those wrists, those fingers. Alright, let's hit those ankles a little bit more. So for our, let's take the right leg in front, and this back leg, so I'm kind of in this 90-90 position. I'm going to turn that foot, that back foot in just a bit, so hopefully you can see that foot behind me. And I want you to sit into that front leg. So I'm bringing my back leg, think about bringing that back ankle in towards my right heel. And so I'm kind of sitting over my right ankle here. And you should feel that stretch in your ankle, through your Achilles tendon, through your calf. So if you are finding that you have a difficult time pressing that heel into the floor, just be patient. You want to lean your weight into that leg. Put some weight into that heel. Be patient. Let your calves stretch out here. You might even feel this through the bottom of your foot as well. So all that fascia, all that tissue from the bottom of your foot kind of connects up into your Achilles tendon, into your calf muscle. All right, while we are stretching this calf, we're also going to add in a little bit of activation through here that also just helps to pull more blood into the lower part of that leg, into that ankle. So while we are leaning into our leg, I want you to try to lift your toes up. So if you try to lift those toes up, you're going to feel the front of the shin firing up. Just hold for a few seconds and relax. And again, lift and hold and relax. Lift and hold, relax. And one more time, lift, hold, and relax. Good. All right. We'll back off of that leg and we'll come on up, switch sides. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Take that left foot forward. So I'm in this 90-90 position. My back leg, I'm kind of swing it in. Right, and I'm going to tuck that back ankle just right into that front heel. And I'm going to push my weight into that leg. I definitely feel this a little bit more on this side than the other side, and that's perfectly fine. One side is usually a little bit tighter than the other. Whew, this one is tight. But again, you're good. Definitely feel this in the ankle, Achilles tendon, up through the calf. But you might also feel that through the bottom of your foot, through the arch of your foot. And again, just be patient. Focus on that breath here. We often don't realize that a lot of our mobility issues kind of start at the bottom, so our ankles are really important to make sure we maintain good range of motion and mobility through our ankles, because everything else works its way up. So if you might not realize it, a lack of ankle mobility really impacts the way that you walk, the way that you stand, the way that you squat, the way that you deadlift, lunge, like all of those movements originate from the ankle. Well, the movement, we always say movement originates from the core, but mobility issues often stem from ankle immobility. All right, let's lift the toes here. So we'll do the same thing we did on the other side. So lift the toes, feel the front of the shin firing up, hold and release. Lift the toes, hold and release. Lift the toes and release. One more time, lift, hold, and release. Good. All right. Let's come on down to the floor. We're going to get into our shin box position. So our front leg is in front of us, 90 degree. That left leg is out to the side. I'm going to think about pressing your back heel towards the back of the room. Front foot is kind of pointing towards that side knee here. What we're going to do is take your right hand and take it out to the side like a little kickstand. So we're going to take a deep breath in. I want you to rotate. Your left hand's going to come meet your right. And what you're going to do is open up that hip here. Open up the left hip. And then come back to center. Deep breath in. Rotate. Bring that left hand to meet your right. And relax. Again. Rotate over. You can squeeze that glute for a little bit more hip opening action there. And relax. And again, rotate over and release. So a few more times, feel free to take this at your own pace. What you're doing is rotating that hip over. You're turning towards that right hand. You're opening up the hip flexor and releasing. Good, and one more time. Rotate, open up that hip flexor, and relax. Alright, we are going to stay here in this position. So my right leg is still in front, left leg is still out to the side. Take a deep breath in, exhale. I'm going to walk forward, lean over that front leg. So I'm immediately going to start to feel that stretch in my right glute and on the lower right side of my back. Get comfortable here for about a minute or so. Just check in with the neck, the shoulders. Release any tension you might be holding on to in the upper body. Do more long breaths. Release tension as you exhale. And slowly come on up. Good. Alright, we're going to swing those legs over to the other side. We'll hit the left side. My left leg's going to be out in front. Right leg out to the side, that back heel kind of pressing towards that back wall. We're going to take the left hand out to the side, sort of like a kickstand. And we're going to take a deep breath in, rotate that hip in towards that front heel. So we're opening up the hip here, taking that right hand to meet the left. Doing gentle rotation and releasing. Rotate that hip in, reach to the left. Good. Feel free to take this at your own pace. Do one more deep breath and exhale. Bring it back to center. Crawl those hands out in front of that left leg. Reach forward very gently. Take your time here. Deep breath in. Relax over that leg. Exhale. I'm going to feel the stretch in my left glute, lower left side of my back as well. Really focus in on that breath. Release any tension you might be holding on to in the neck, the shoulders. Release a little more tension with each exhale. One more deep breath. Gentle exhale. Really come on up. Alright, roll those shoulders down and back. Alright, we're going to swing those legs around. Take both knees up to your chest. Hug those knees in. We're going to let those knees fall over to one side. And we're going to take our top arm, big sweep up and over to the other side. Opening up the chest. Opening up our thoracic spine a bit as well. Feel free to take that right hand or your bottom hand on top of your knees. Hold for a few seconds here, and we'll get the other side. Good, and relax. Bring that hand back over. All right, pull those knees back to center. Take them over to the opposite side. That top arm is going to reach up and over, opening up the chest, opening up the thoracic spine. That bottom arm can be placed on top of the knee just to make sure your knees and your hips stay stacked on one another. Even if that shoulder doesn't quite reach the floor, that is perfectly fine. Good, and we'll bring arm back over, bring both knees back to center. Tuck that chin in, give yourself a few rocks, a little back massage here. And roll it up to sitting. Thank you all for joining me today for Unravel. Appreciate you all being here. Hope that you're feeling a little bit more open, have a little bit more blood flow. And if you are joining Full Body Blast, I hope that you have a great workout. If not, and we'll see you all later. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everyone.